Hi, Manya. Um, I thought it was really good to see the rest of the Education Under Arrest and the Interrupt the Pipeline documentaries today. I definitely want to finish the pipeline one. It's really eye-opening to see them, and just strengthens my opinion that I want to be a teacher who uses the restorative justice type of model in my classroom as much as possible. I think the only thing that is scary to me or would hold me back is just not knowing when it's appropriate to call security, but knowing that I would always rather solve it a different way, but also sort of covering my back in terms of communicating with people at the school, but keeping the students' interests in mind. And I think it's really impossible to know in a lot of ways how it would react until the moment comes. But I know that I prefer restorative justice and really all of the proactive and preventative measures we've talked about in just creating a safe classroom climate. But it's really eye-opening um, to see these documentaries and hear these stories about kids who just don't even deserve a little bit what has happened to them, and it's just so messed up and scary that that's just so many kids without an option. I had no idea that high schools in Chicago needed you needed to apply. That's just oh so wrong. But um, but it's good to see that people are using restorative justice and these other models to give these kids a chance that they deserve. Um, so I want to be one of those teachers, absolutely. And then also in terms of culturally responsive teaching, I appreciated the examples in the reading. Um, I liked a couple of the ideas especially, but I don't, well, Beatrice and Mary, I don't remember who said which, but that culturally responsive teaching is teaching about and to different cultures, and that it's something that you have to do every day to value all of your individual students and all of their cultures every day, or at least that's the goal. That it's a daily thing, not just a holiday once in a while. And it's awesome to hear that it strengthens everything because it's embedded. And obviously the examples in the book created really comfortable learning environment for the students, which I think is all of our goal first and foremost, as with everything we've been talking about in this class. I'm really excited to be in Denver Public Schools teaching through comprehensible input because it makes culturally responsive teaching relatively easy because comprehensible input is based on student interest. So basically my curriculum, I will have each week a list of usually 3 to 4 verbs in Spanish that I have to teach. And then starting from those verbs, I will, with students, be creating stories with whatever information they choose. So the students choose the people in the stories, they choose if people are going to different places, they choose the places. So throughout that, student interest becomes central and gets their buy-in. A lot of comprehensible input teachers suggest doing something sort of like what we've talked about with introductions on the first day. Have students fill out a who's your favorite superhero, where are you from, uh, where would you like to live, what name would you like to be called, all of these things, what's your favorite food, that then I will have my information about each kid so that I know that so-and-so loves or is from, I don't know, Puerto Rico. And so then we have a story about that. Um, and that it really doesn't matter what the proper nouns in the story are, because the point is the verbs. And so they're hearing these verbs and they're hearing them over and over again in comprehensible Spanish that they understand, with a plot and characters that they care about. So I think that's a really cool way to bring in culturally responsive teaching, both the cultures and places and identities that the students are coming from, and bringing in actual Spanish-speaking countries and cultures that may not be represented in my classroom, but Colorado State standards say that I have to teach. So I'm really looking forward to being part of comprehensible input in Denver Public Schools and being a culturally responsive teacher that way. And I know that there's so much more that goes into that, but I definitely feel like this class has helped me see different ways to do that and different ways to really just focus on each student and take the time to listen. I think that's the most important thing, is to listen and make sure kids know that they're in a safe place, which can be a huge challenge, but it's worth it.